To celebrate Earth Day's 40th anniversary, Earth Day Network, in conjunction with ICLEI USA and the Yale School of Forestry and Environmental Science, hosted a program called the Global Day of Conversation. Over 400 mayors, state representatives, congressional members, and senators joined together across America to engage in dialogue about the important environmental issues we are facing today. The Global Day of Conversation served to elevate these voices and encourage others to start taking the action needed to protect our planet.
In Nebraska, at least, I guess you can't necessarily talk about global warming and climate change and get people to jump onto the green bandwagon from that perspective.
Our current mayor is very, very committed to having the city become greener. His slogan is cleaner, greener, Lincoln.
I came from the legislative experience, 23 years in the legislature, and for most of that period of time, there were just two of us that ever introduced any bills related to the environment.
This year we passed some significant legislation on getting bigger wind development.
More constituents of mine, as well as I think just more taxpayers in general, are learning more and more information, not just about cost savings that come with new environmental and energy policies that the legislature is debating, but just the sustainability issue in general.
We tend to talk about it from the standpoint of economic development.
Lincoln is at a stage that is really exciting.
Slow but steady, consistent, but still discernible progress year in and year out does get you quite a long ways.
The groundwork was laid 3 decades ago when we decided to tell the federal government no thanks on a big freeway project, and instead our local elected officials decided to put that money into light rail, sidewalks, and it's the start of some bike projects.
They didn't just do a few things for show. They really tried to make a complete network, to say, okay, if I'm a cyclist and I want to get places, what do I have to do?
I've put a request into the federal government. We're raising money locally to expand our bike boulevard system by 120 miles, so we'll have more bike boulevards than any other city in the United States.
It's really a pretty cheap form of transportation and cheap form of transportation infrastructure for the most part too.
Everything we do here you can replicate all over the United States. If you can provide the kind of mobility and the options other than driving alone in your car like we do, you can do it in any other city. In fact, the bigger the city, the easier it is.
Back in the height of Braddock's financial apex, we had about 20,000 residents here. And today we have under 3,000, and 90% of our town is in a landfill someplace. And what do you do with the 10% that remains? And especially when the 10% is facing a lot of challenges as we currently are.
2 months ago, we received word that we were the recipient of a federal stimulus grant to do job training for green jobs in energy efficiency fields. And so if we can start to attract people back because there are green jobs available, I think that will be wonderful for Braddock.
We'd have 20 or 30 young people from the community working on here. But we produce organic produce that is consumed at the farmers market here in town and also sold to restaurants. What better way to help rebuild a region of the country that helped build this country and parts of the world to help rebuild itself through these green technologies and emerging ideas.
From the prairies of Nebraska to the steel mills of Pennsylvania, this movement is continuing to grow momentum in a surprising range of cities. Earth Day Network is proud to encourage these communities as they take the actions needed that bring us closer to creating a more sustainable nation.